We have banks coming to us now, say, "Oh, can you do this for us?" Banks. Yeah, well, we're competing against you. Yeah, that's fine, because obviously with our legacy system, we know we can't do it. So therefore, we're gonna jump several technologies ahead and say we actually like this, and we will find a way to distribute it. And then maybe we can just do something in the background, and you do the embedded finance widget in whatever shape and form.
So, given the fact that there's so many clear and obvious benefits to embedded finance, in your view, what does it need for it to go from being an emerging trend to becoming a mainstream trend in financial services?
Well, trends obviously start somewhere, and then they are trending. And I think we are in the trending phase. Gartner has this classical curve,
hype cycle,
and we are probably moving up the hype cycle at this stage. For sure. But what we are seeing is that you need to kind of go to this mass, so to speak. You need a critical mass to get it fully embedded, so to speak, in the population at large. I think what we are seeing now is that we are seeing, especially from the consumer side, that maybe on the checkout side when you're buying things, that is, that's not even a trend any longer. That's just there. You have a choice when you're checking out whether how you want to buy. Do you want to pay it now? Do you want to pay it later? And that is, I don't know any site that is not having it. So you can say that's already happened from an embedded finance perspective. What we at Moneyflow is doing is we're doing it for the B2B sector, and it's a bit newer. In all fairness, consumers definitely adopted the embedded finance much quicker than the businesses, because it wasn't really there.
Yeah.
We were probably one of the first in Denmark that did it for invoice financing, for revenue funding, for creating liquidity for small businesses inside ERP platforms. But now we are seeing a lot of these platforms coming to us and say, "Oh, you have these, we've seen these great little embedded finance widgets. Couldn't we use this for our, let's say, workflows and others?" So I think a year, maybe 2 years, you're going to see a situation where it is just there. It's just part of the course of doing business as a choice. It could be faster, it could be a little slower, but it's definitely in the next couple of years. You will see the same maturity as you're seeing in the consumer market. 100% sure.
Okay.
And then obviously go to the Far East. It's already happening.
Right.
It's just everywhere. I would say, where is it not?
Yeah.
It's on watches. It's on, you're walking past a dispenser and say, "Hey, would you like this? Because last time you had this drink, and here's an offer on the drink," and you just swipe your watch and it's done. Money has been transacted. You finance. You have pay. Pay later, buy now. When you're checking out, buying a pizza. But it's because it's just so normal, isn't it? It's just everywhere. But businesses take a little bit longer for maturity. But a couple of years, it would be as normal as anything.
And do you think there's any challenges for embedded finance to properly pick up in let's say, Europe and in the West? Perhaps that might not exist, or that the Eastern markets have already gone through?
It is interesting to see that, you saw, for example, mobile payments, in very new platforms in Africa, taking off so fast because there was no legacy. There was none. There was no systems. There was nothing, which means that they leapfrog certain technologies because there was nothing they had to kind of change. They could just jump straight into. The same with the Far East. There was a lot of newness to the technology, and there was nothing to consider in the past. They could just move straight into, let's say, a payment system. They don't have to look at the old banking, clearing banks and stuff like that. They don't have to do things the old way. Europe is catching on pretty fast. If you have asked me that question 12 months ago, I think I would have been a bit more hesitant and said, there is a lot of legacy. It is actually moving quite slow. The Nordics is different because we are very, very digitalized. We sometimes forget how much digitalized we are in the Nordic versus other European countries. But what I'm seeing in Europe especially in Northern Europe, is that it's catching up really fast. And COVID obviously has been an accelerator for this kind of digitalization. So I think things are moving pretty fast. And even the legacy systems, they are jumping into this kind of new ways of doing things because you can't stop it. That's the thing, isn't it? It is just happening, and you have to accept that. Some say, join the bandwagon or something, but it is a technology that is just happening, and it's happening. You can see it's happening, and you have a choice. Do you want to be a part of it, or do you want to wait and see? And I think a lot of legacy companies, a year ago, and said, we'll just wait and see. And now they're starting. We have banks coming to us now, saying, can you do this for us? Banks. Yeah, well, we're competing against you. Yeah, that's fine, because obviously with our legacy system, we know we can't do it. So therefore, we're going to jump several technologies ahead and say we actually like this, and we will find a way to distribute it. And then maybe we can just do something in the background, and you do the embedded finance widget in whatever shape and form. And that's a very interesting ways of how that cycle is changing. Is that they're saying, well, actually, in fact, we could help the banks getting a much sleeker way of distributing, let's face it, their money. Right. Because what is it really banks do? I mean, in one shape and form, they provide a card and accounts and some money provision. That's really what a bank does, and it's a trusted place. So I think it's a super interesting time to be in, because all these trends we saw, they are converging now, and they are accelerating. So I just think I'm glad that we were so stubborn 3 years ago, and people were just saying, you guys are nuts. Well, what are you talking about? No one's going to do this. It will happen. It's only a question about time.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating how the market dynamics have changed from a push model in which you had startups like yourselves trying to push a concept. Well, now it's almost the demand for the concept has already proven the concept itself, right?